All right, so back on TYT Sports, and I truthfully regret to inform you that this is another clip regarding Lavar Ball, who I've said multiple times, and this makes me a giant hypocrite, so I can at least have some self-awareness in this matter. I really don't like talking about Lavar Ball, but the clips succeed. You guys click on it, and on top of that, it's the #1 trending story on the internet. It's a conflict of interest in a way because I don't want to talk about it, but it keeps coming up. So Lavar Ball and Kristine Leahy got into a dispute on the herd with Colin Cowherd, and then that clip of Leahy and Ball went what the kids call viral, and now it is being discussed now 2 days later or a day later on every single sports media platform. And it was one thing that Lavar Ball was being promoted for ratings on most mainstream media platforms. Now it's being discussed on literally everything. I mean, all the way to the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God, who I've had mixed opinions on depending on what the topic of conversation is. I mean, I think he's easily one of the most prominent radio hosts in the country, and he's got and does have a massive following. And the Breakfast Club could be a very entertaining show. Again, depending, in my opinion, on what the topic is. So let's make a timeline here. Here's the clip of Kristine Leahy and Lavar Ball.
But I thought it was a good point.
No, I'm actually saying it as like a point of advice.
I'm not friends with her. I don't even see that. I don't even see it.
I wasn't saying it as like I would never wear this.
What's this show about again? Ain't we talking about shoes? I don't want to talk about all that. Next.
Well, I think in order to have a successful company, you're going to have women who like your brand.
Yeah, if you have a women's company. But anyways.
Oh, so you're not marketing to women.
We're talking about Big Baller Brand.
Okay, so look.
They wouldn't want to work with you anyway because you don't respect women. So
she's after you today.
Oh, I don't respect women, but I'm the one that's married. I'm good. Well, she can say what she wants. She's trying to put it. I never disrespect women. But I tell you what, if you act like that, guess what? Something's coming to you. Oh. And it's okay.
Do you think?
Are you threatening me?
Oh, see how she tried to turn the words. I would never threaten you.
You said something's coming to me.
I don't know what it is. I'm not a psychic.
Oh.
What you can take away from that is Lavar Ball is the same person that we've always thought he was. If you like Lavar Ball because he says things that are outrageous or on in the realm of being obnoxious and he's not afraid of anybody, well, your opinions of him aren't going to change ever then. I've never liked Lavar Ball. I never thought it was entertaining that some annoying dad felt like he can beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. And I think it's even more ridiculous that people have, and even myself, I look back on some of the clips I've done on it, and I think it's ridiculous that I've even gotten mad that Lavar Ball thinks he can beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. Who actually cares about that? But what's frustrating in this sense is that, for one, Leahy asked, in my opinion, a pretty straightforward question. How many shoes did you sell? And yes, she definitely said it with some disdain in the tone and the way she said it. But Lavar Ball wouldn't look her in the eye, and that was a big topic of conversation on sports radio, was they took it from, like, why would Lavar Ball, I think as Charlamagne the God put it, why would he have to break his neck to look back at Kristine Leahy? Look at the show's what's the word for set design, in which Colin Cowherd has this kind of weird power dynamic where he's like way above all his guests, and then there's the couch, and then Leahy's truthfully in the background. That's what the set design is, and then behind Leahy there's a small producer's row. So, okay, obviously Fox Sports and Colin Cowherd have a weird set design, and that causes some problems with guests looking at people in the eye, but Lavar Ball could do this, you know. It wouldn't break his neck. So it was disrespectful of Lavar Ball. I don't think there's really an argument against that. But what I do think is ridiculous, in addition to all of this and breaking this whole entire charade down so much, is I don't think Lavar Ball was actually threatening Kristine Leahy. I can see why it would be interpreted as a threat, but I think that when you start to blow it a little bit out of proportion, like he was threatening Kristine Leahy, how? And what power does Lavar Ball have to threaten anybody? Because a bottomless threat doesn't mean anything. And a threat with no power behind it, again, doesn't mean anything. So in this case, Lavar Ball turns and says, stay in your lane, and you got something coming. What does she have coming? He has, and again, now Leahy mentioned that there's been death threats sent to her after this Lavar Ball case. If you work in media and you have an opinion on anything, at some point, and I think this is wrong, but at some point you get death threats. I've gotten death threats. I read the YouTube comments. There's people who said that they want me to hang myself. I've gotten on my Twitter, take a gun to my head to kill myself to save sports media. So I have there's one less voice. So like, yes, I've gotten death threats. We've all gotten them if you work in this media landscape. So it's trying to keep everything in this realm of reason. So what's the big takeaway? Lavar Ball is still a jackass, and he's going to bring out the jackasses around him to either defend him or make it seem like he has some kind of power that does not exist. Lonzo Ball is being affected by this, and if you don't see that, then you're not looking at the right story that should be being shared. The number 2 overall pick in the draft, unless the Celtics make a big troll move and take Lonzo Ball, is going to be donning a Lakers uniform very shortly. And Lonzo Ball is a type of game-changing player. Yet you have people like Sam Perkins, played for the forward for the Supersonics, the Mavericks, Lakers even, who said this about it's that they're going to go after him. Players are going to go after him. And they're going to want to make Lonzo Ball into their own personal highlight reel. If you don't think that, then you're not reading between the lines close enough. And we have to remember that, and this is very important, at least to me in terms of Lonzo Ball's game, right? The last tape we have of Lonzo Ball, the Lonzo Ball who's going to take the Lakers to the playoffs according to his father, the Lonzo Ball that's going to be better than Michael Jordan, that's already better than Steph Curry, according to his father, got torched for 39 points against De'Aaron Fox, who's going to be drafted 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere in that area in the NBA draft on Kentucky. He torched him. He put up 39 points on Lonzo Ball. Steph Curry will ignite him. LeBron James will shove his head into his sack like he just did with Isaiah Thomas. So he's going to be on everybody's poster. There's going to be players that are gunning for him. And there will be players like his teammates, I am sure, that will stick up for him as they should because they are on the same team. But what Lonzo Ball needs to do is get an agent to somehow put a split between LeVar and Lonzo. Because that's what's most important. LeVar Ball is an unimportant person who should have zero effect on the media landscape and should have zero effect on the shoe landscape. Again, this is a guy who's bombastic enough to charge $500 for a pair of shoes. And then as I recently even read, that if you happen to be a size 14 or higher, so a lot of people who end up going to be NBA prospects or at least college players, because if you're a size 14 shoe, you tend to be tall. It's like $600-700 for that shoe. A little bit besides the point. So after all of this, there was Whitlock versus Charlamagne the God. There was Lavar Ball making a fat-shaming joke. Again, I think that's being blown out of proportion, and in no way am I defending Lavar Ball. I can't stand the guy. I would never have him on my platform. I don't care if it was for the greatest ratings of all time. I would adamantly take a stand to not have him, and if I had to be forcibly removed from that show, I would happily not come into work that day and go surfing. In conclusion, Lavar Ball has gone out and been exactly who we all knew he was to be. And Cowherd's defense of it was a little bit on the weak side. This is somebody I enjoy, is Colin Cowherd. I like his show. I like Nick Wright. I like Kristine Leahy. I've been over this 110 times. His defense was that there was newsworthy elements that came out of Lavar Ball's mouth. If you think that Lavar Ball is now charging $3 billion to Nike, Adidas, and all these places, that's not newsworthy. It's more jackassery. And then if you think that Lavar Ball saying Lonzo's going to take the Lakers to the playoffs, that's not newsworthy. So he milked out more bullshit from Lavar Ball's mouth for his own personal ratings gain. And a Fox Sports executive, I think today, came out and said it was the highest rated digital show of the Herd's tenure, at least like first day returns with Lavar Ball. And that is what brings in money. And again, it's messed up because now I'm sitting here talking about it, and it does frustrate me. It annoys me that LaVar Ball gets media attention. I think that if we learned anything from how mainstream media props up certain characters for ratings, that it can be dangerous, and there's a lot of BS that can come from the aftermath. And from when you put a bullshit artist like LaVar Ball on camera, he's going to play up to it. So here's my solution for it. Just stop watching it. If possible, stop paying attention to it. I know you're not. I know for the most part most of you aren't, but if 1 out of 1,000 say, you know what, I'm done with LaVar Ball, I can care less, that would be great. At least it's one. So comment below, like, favorite, and subscribe. I'm sure some of you are super team Leahy. LaVar's a disrespectful ass clown. And I'm sure a lot of you are also pro LaVar Ball, and he says what he wants and he speaks his mind, and his opinions are his own, and no one can stop him from doing that. And in that case, you're right in the way that his opinions are his own, and no one could stop him from doing it. I just wish that executives would take a little bit more responsibility and stop thinking with their wallets as much as they are, and they have been for the past year or so. Like, favorite, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter @JaceNumber91, and we'll see you next time.